I'm here with the Association of African Universities Television, AUTV. I just want to say that without the media, you won't know what's going on in the world. Even with the media, you sometimes don't know what's going on in the world. So you need to tune in to the reliable sources who are really on the front lines, who can give you the information you need and give you facts, not conjecture, give you real news, not fake news. And this is the place to find it, AUTV.
The voice of higher education in Africa.
Good day, Africa. This is the Hello Africa Morning Show on AAU TV, and to our top African stories. Ghana has successfully begun the evacuation of its citizens from conflict-prone areas in the Middle East. The first group of nationals has been safely removed from Iran to Turkey, whilst plans are underway to evacuate others in Israel. This development follows high-level diplomatic talks between Ghanaian authorities and ambassadors from both nations.
In a swift response to growing instability in the Middle East, the government of Ghana has evacuated the first group of its nationals from Iran. The evacuees are now safely in Turkey. The operation is part of an emergency evacuation strategy led by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs under the directives of President John Mahama. Foreign Minister Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa confirmed the successful evacuation in a Facebook post on Friday, June 20. He revealed that crucial diplomatic meetings earlier this week with Israeli Ambassador His Excellency Roy Gilad and Iranian Ambassador His Excellency Ali Gomshi were instrumental in securing safe passage and border access approvals. Minister Ablakwa emphasized Ghana's commitment to ensuring the safety of its citizens abroad, noting that Ghanaians in Israel will also be evacuated as soon as possible. Beyond evacuation logistics, the meetings also allowed Ghana to express its views on the ongoing conflict and reinforce its foreign policy stance. The minister took the opportunity to register Ghana's displeasure over remarks by the Israeli ambassador who questioned Ghana's voting record at international bodies. The minister stressed that Ghana's foreign policy decisions are guided by the Constitution, commitment to peace, non-alignment, and the principles of international law. He also called on both Iran and Israel to exercise restraint and pursue diplomatic solutions to de-escalate tensions in the region. Ghana currently holds a seat on the United Nations Human Rights Council and chairs the board of the International Atomic Energy Agency, highlighting its active role in global peace-building efforts.
Moving on, the Ghana National Service Authority has withheld the deployment of thousands of graduates after discovering that some tertiary institutions had failed to secure proper accreditation. The move affects over 20 institutions and form part of a broader effort to ensure transparency and accountability in the national service process.
In a statement posted on Tuesday, June 17th, the authority revealed that 122 institutions submitted graduate lists, but only 100 met the accreditation requirements. As a result, 132,393 PIN codes have been released to eligible graduates from these compliant institutions. Among the school-facing accreditation issues are the Abiam Institute of Technology, the School of Hygiene in Kolebu, Lakeside University College, IPMC College of Technology, and Radford University College. The National Service Authority said this decision is part of a wider effort to promote transparency and maintain data integrity in national service enrollment. It has given the 22 affected institutions a 30-day window to regularize their accreditation status with the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission, or RICS, having their graduates permanently executed from the year's program. The authority reaffirmed its commitment to upholding a credible and efficient service system, warning that unresolved accreditation concerns will mean affected graduates miss out on the opportunity to serve.
Also, South Africa has declared a national state of disaster after devastating storms, flood, and snowfall left dozens dead and thousands homeless across several provinces. The hardest hit region, Eastern Cape, is now mourning as officials confirm a rising death toll and mountain damage.
South Africa is reeling from one of the deadliest weather events in recent memory. The government has officially declared a national disaster after severe weather battered multiple provinces last week, killing at least 92 people, including 31 children. The Eastern Cape province, particularly the area around the city of Mthatha, has borne the brunt of the destruction. Torrential rains, snow, and the gale force winds have left over 4,000 people homeless, with roads washed away, homes destroyed, and critical infrastructure severely damaged. 2 school children are among several missing after the bus was reportedly swept away in floodwaters. Authorities are urging the public to report missing persons to help search and rescue teams identify those still unaccounted for. On Thursday, the Eastern Cape held a memorial service for victims, many of them young, at one of the few schools left standing in the region. The day was declared one for mourning. Declaring a national disaster enables the government to unlock emergency funding to assist affected areas, including the Eastern Cape, KwaZulu-Natal, Western Cape, and Free State. Efforts are already underway to restore water and electricity in the hardest hit communities.
Moving on, African universities are set to benefit from a major national research project aimed at strengthening their ability to tackle climate change. The $940,000 initiative, led by the Association of African Universities, are funded primarily by the UK, will support 20 institutions across the continent to develop and lead climate adaptation research.
A new multi-million-rand initiative is set to strengthen Africa's climate adaptation research landscape. Launched by the Association of African Universities in collaboration with the Association of Commonwealth Universities and the UK's Liverpool School of Tropical Medicine, the 24-month project will target 20 universities across Africa. With $940,000 in funding, 90% of it from the UK government, the project aims to build institutional capacity through a specially developed Climate Organizational Capacity Assessment Tool, or COCAT. COCAT will be co-created and piloted by participating universities in a virtual living lab, a collaborative environment that includes academic staff, funders, and local communities to assess and strengthen institutional capacities. The tool is designed not only to enhance research capacity, but also to promote gender equality and inclusion in climate research. Each selected university would receive a $5,000 seed grant to test and refine the tool during the pilot phase. Institutions were chosen based on a wide range of criteria, including sustainability goals, research infrastructure, regional representation, and alignment with climate priorities. The countries represented range from Egypt and Nigeria to Kenya, Uganda, and Namibia. The first 7 months would focus on developing COCAT, followed by a 10-month piloting phase and final refinement leading up to the project's conclusion in December 2026. With more than 300 researchers expected to be involved, this project marks a significant step in empowering African universities to lead in climate adaptation at a time when the continent faces increasing threats from extreme weather, rising temperatures, and vulnerable ecosystems.
Foreign universities seeking to study in the United States are once again able to apply their visas, but by this time under a new and controversial policy. The U.S. State Department now requires all applicants to unlock their social media account for government review. The policy aimed at tighter security has sparked global concern and revived debate about privacy and free speech.
In a statement released Wednesday, the department said consular officers will screen accounts for any posts or messages perceived as hostile to the United States, its government, institutions, and values. Those who refuse to set their accounts to public may be denied a visa under suspicion of attempting to evade scrutiny. The Trump administration paused student visa interviews last month to prepare for the rollout of the new screening system. The move has intensified scrutiny of international students, especially from countries like China, India, Mexico, and the Philippines. Students around the world have been anxiously watching for updates, hoping to secure visas in time for the start of the academic year. New guidelines also instruct consulates to prioritize students applying to institutions where international enrollment is less than 15%. A policy that could disadvantage students headed for top universities, including all Ivy League schools and several major public colleges. Critics say the new social media requirement is reminiscent of Cold War era ideological vetting. Jamil Jaffa of the Knight First Amendment Institute warned it may chill political expression and turn consular officers into de facto censors.
That is all for the top African stories. My name is Jemima Daladem Duchi. Up next is News Review.
Explore a whole new world of exciting visuals with AAU TV. Get ready for a mix of interesting talk shows, interviews, discovery documentaries, and news on AAU TV. It's not just about watching TV, it's about experiencing something special. AAU TV reaches over 25 countries in Africa, bringing you a blend of knowledge and fun. Learn about different cultures as you enjoy the shows. If you have events or want to showcase your business, we've got you covered. Watch AAU TV free-to-air channel on satellite. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and X, formerly known as Twitter, at AAU TV. Reach out on call or WhatsApp us at +233 26 629 6601 or +233 20 399 5210. AAU TV, the voice of higher education in Africa.
Are you a university, college, high school, private organization, NGO, individual professor, instructor or facilitator seeking to take advantage of the numerous benefits of online education? Look no further. The AAU eLearn Africa LMS is a great opportunity to begin your journey to online course development and creation for teaching, learning and training purposes. AAU eLearn Africa LMS, which is a partnership between the Association of African Universities and eLearn Africa, has made available ease to use online learning tools to all stakeholders within the educational ecosystem of the African continent. This is to enhance teaching and learning in the bid to expand online learning opportunities for students in Africa. The online platform is open and available for free to all stakeholders and facilitates virtual access to classes without needing the other tools such as Zoom, Microsoft Teams, among others. For more information, visit www.elearnafricalms.com or contact us via aaulms@aau.org or estherm@elearnafrica.com. Follow us on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook at AAU eLearn Africa LMS.
This program is proudly sponsored by Venom Mineral Water, Share the Love, and Bigo Drinks.
You're welcome back from the break, and thank you for sticking with us for the news review. And today we've got quite interesting stories to discuss, which also calls for discussions. First, we have some about over 3,000 tertiary students being denied of NSS pins, and also we have tensions rising over the Galamsey issues related to who is to be blamed for these critical issues. We also will be talking about DR Congo extending cobalt export ban to September 2025. And then we have Nigerian also receiving largest return of a historic artifact from Netherlands. And lastly, we'll be looking at FDA approving a twice yearly injection to prevent HIV/AIDS. And I'll be doing this with my co-host Jemima Dela Demdochi. How are you doing, Jemima?
I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm fine. I listened to the top African news, and one of the story that cut across was students, being concerned about their universities being accredited by the GTEC. Currently there's a high issues about this, and it started, I think, last year. AAU, we've been talking about, most of the news, exactly, yes, and most of the universities span across African countries. We had Makerere universities having that issues, and also affecting universities when they graduate from schools and their certificates, actually the course that they studies were not accredited. So it really had an impact on their job findings and all. And today we are looking at another impact of universities not being accredited, and this time it is with the NSS. That's the National Service Scheme. And I'll go into the story. It says that the National Service Authority has announced that 3,597 final year students from 22 tertiary institutions are yet to receive their national service PIN codes for the 2025-2026 service year due to accreditation challenges. In a statement released in June 17, 2025, the NSA revealed that out of about 136,000 students submitted for service, only 132,393 from 100 recognized institutions have been cleared, and the remaining students have been excluded, being their institutions either lack accreditation or have accreditation that has expired, as confirmed by the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission. It's to me, I'm in support of what the NSA is doing, because when you go into their rules and regulation on their website, it says that the national service is mandatory for graduate students from tertiary, from an approved tertiary, and it's a 1 year duration. So it says approved tertiary, and for an institution to be approved, you need to be accredited. So if your institution is not accredited, of course, that means you're not even a graduate, I must say. Yes, you may have graduated with a ceremony and all that, but you are not a legal graduate. And now students are being impacted on this. I mean, the universities have their challenge, but the main challenge is going to be on the children, on the students. What is your thought on this?
For me, I think this is a very unfortunate issue to be, for us to see that, after school, you do not or you cannot progress, as you said, legal graduate student. It's so unfortunate. And when you look at the numbers here, I think it's a lot of people. It's very. The difference is about 3,500. So if you have a student span of about 3,500 who have not or who cannot move forward after their graduation, they cannot do their NSS, they can't, because their courses are not accredited. So you going to school for 4 years, it's like your whole 4 years
is wasted.
In a way, is wasted. So right now I ask myself that what is the plan really to let these students, because the more they stay at home, mind you, if let's say they should stay at home for an additional 1 year, that means it will be like a plus to the other year that will be coming. And more one issue that we mostly hear in these institutions is the fact that they do not have spaces for sometimes NSPs, and then you go to do your NSS, and then you realize that you're not actually even learning anything. So just imagine that this 3,500 students have not been placed in their rightful places, and then they are added to the next batch. That's like a lot of numbers going out there, and we are losing graduates all the time. We hear of unemployability. We hear of issues that the payroll is full, and you look at all these issues and this happening, and you ask yourself. I mean, I'm putting myself in the shoes of the student to actually know how they feel that after your 4 years, you realize that your course wasn't accredited. Of course, it's not their fault. It is the universities.
Yeah, talking about what the students are going through, I mean, some may be happy because...
Why would you be happy?
You know, talking about national service, there are a lot of people who do not want to do it, but they tend to forget about the importance of this, because after that, you'll be applying for a job, and sometimes they ask for experience. Sometimes where you even did your national service, you may be retained based on your hard work and your commitment and all that. But some people, you know, we are all we've shared this experience before.
But for me, the problem really is, I get where you're coming from, that sometimes students do not want to do it because of,
they may be happy, but at the same time, their certificate is also at stake if your institution is not accredited. And like I said, I'm in support of what the NSA is doing. It's going to push institutions, the universities, to do the right thing. And if I'm a student, maybe I have the option to voice out. If I'm a student in this situation, they've been given 30 days to, rectify the issue, and then have students having their pins to do their service. But if an institution is not able to do that, I, a student, I'm going to sue the institution. Because, yes, because maybe on your platform, a student should know even before being admitted whether the institution is accredited.
That's true.
But most of these accreditation status are not on the website for even a student to know before being admitted to the university. But now I have been to the school for 4 years, paid my tuition fees and all that, only for me to go into the public sphere and do my service as a perfect citizen, and I'm being told my school is not accredited, so I don't have that chance. Now I'm going to sue the university.
That's very, very unfortunate.
If you don't want to be sued, and if you don't want wahala and all that in terms of future issues with accreditation, universities, when was the 30 days given? You have less than 30 days to rectify that issue. Now, another thing, another concern is, the list had some institution like Perez University being listed as not being accredited, not meeting the accreditation status. But GTech came to, speak out that actually they have been accredited until 2029. What does this tell you? To me, I think it also talks about inaccuracy in terms of data, as well as a lack of communication between these two institutions.
My problem really is, if you say Perez University has been accredited till 2029, so that means after 2029 they may have to review. And sometimes, lack of, an institution may just also forget. But even to buttress on the other point, I think on universities' websites there should be that information that these courses are accredited. Or let me say, if courses are not accredited, take it from, remove courses that are not accredited from your website. And if you're an institution and you're also not accredited, I don't think you should even function at all, because you functioning and wasting somebody's 4 years in a row is a lot, to be honest.
It is a lot. And still on the issues with Perez University and the other institutions that were listed, but unfortunately, fortunately, they are accredited. I think we should work on our data. When this shouldn't be an issue. There should be like an automatic reminders from the GTech to NSA, then to the university, or from NSA to GTech and to the universities. There should be some monitoring. That maybe let's take UNIMAC. UNIMAC's accreditation will be ending this year. Before the year will come to that. There should be somebody monitoring that.
Yeah,
and informing the tech that we want to do a reaccreditation. And then the updates should be given to NSA. So that by the time they'll be rolling out students to do their national service, they know the universities that are accredited and not make that mistakes of mentioning universities that are accredited, but according to NSA's data, they are not accredited.
That's very true.
When it comes to data, it is a very big issue in Africa that needs to be fixed as soon as
our way of communication and organization.
And then so the percentage, looking at the number of NSPs that went out, that was last year compared to this year.
This year there's been a drop.
A very huge drop. Like 36.4 compared to 2022 and 2023. And last year was 26.
That's 10% difference.
And we are still talking about unemployment.
The payroll is full. I mean, government institutions are, a lot of times complaining about the payroll. But I think over the weekend, I was listening to, I won't say a show, but it's just like a talk that people do, like a podcast sort of. And they are talking about the fact that some of these people in the government sectors are a bit old. So it is high time that they leave the seat for people to be. But, mind you, people have their own ways of retaining themselves in such positions. And I think so far as we will continue to have these people in the system, the issues will continue to persist.
Right. So again, we are in support of what NSA is doing, and we would love to hear from you what your thoughts are on these issues. Do you think the strategy taken by the NSA is the right path? And what would be your advice to the universities as well as GTech? Are they doing their work, according to what's supposed to be done and on time, so that these issues will not, be on the urge when needed? Moving on to the second story, we are looking at, like I mentioned, Galamsey blame game between Chinese industries as well as Ghanaian industry. And according to the CEO of the Ghana Chamber of Mines, Dr. Ken Ashibe, he has firmly addressed recent comments made by the Chinese ambassador to Ghana, that's His Excellency Tong Defa, regarding the ongoing illegal mining crisis, commonly known as Galamsey. Speaking on Joy FM on Friday, June 20, Dr. Ashibe criticized the ambassador's attempt to place the blame solely on Ghanaians. He, in the media interaction on June 19, claimed that Chinese involvement in Galamsey stems from Ghanaians who bring them in, adding that small-scale illegal mining is impossible to eliminate and should instead be managed for environmental safety. Dr. Ashibe, a well-known anti-Galamsey advocate, acknowledged local complicity but stressed that foreign nationals, particularly some Chinese, are deeply involved and must be absolved. He cited data from Operational Vanguard, which indicates that Chinese nationals represent the majority of foreign arrests in illegal mining. Jemima, so this is blame games between Ghanaian and Chinese industries. In terms of Galamsey, the Chinese ambassador of China is asking, saying that they are not solely to be blamed, but actually the fault comes from the Ghanaian perspective, because we allow the people to come in and utilize our resources like in the business format. And now this the Ghana Chamber of Mines, Dr. Ken Ashibe, is also saying, no, we are not to be entirely blamed for this. We should share the blame because as you should do the right thing as a miner. You should, as an industry in mines, you should do the right thing and not go into illegal. And as a Ghanaian as well, you should also know what you are doing, whether you are doing the right thing. And this goes to our chiefs. Before someone will come to mine in an environment or at a particular area, land acquisition, where did the person get the land from? It is from the chiefs. And mostly we know the interest of the chief. Forgive me if I may be wrong, but we know that they want money. So they end up selling these lands to the Chinese without checking whether they are properly documented, they have the legal right to do it, their industries or the company has been registered, and they've been given the go-ahead to do the mines. No, all these are not checked. They just give them the land to mine. And even as they are in that process, you know, just like the Ghana and the ambassador made mention, illegal mining may not be fully, I mean, scrapped, like, no. But we need to monitor it. We need to monitor it, like I mentioned. It's when it gets to some time that you see that the place is being destroyed, you just stop. For it to, you know, it's to retain its resources and all that. So to me, I think we should not blame the Chinese entirely, because Ghanaians also play a part. Well, what's your?
For me, I think this Galamsey issue, I've heard a lot of stories, podcasts, and videos about people talking about Galamsey, and it's I don't know if I should say, it's so unfortunate that we want to blame Chinese for the fact that they are coming into our country to use our land for Galamsey purposes. I'll say that for a fact, I don't think we should blame anybody for it. We are the citizens of our country. There should be measures put in place for these things. I saw a video somewhere in a deprived area where you could see someone has built a whole building. They are staying in it. And I think they found a gold behind the door. I mean, behind the house. Just behind, to be honest. And when they found it, you know, because they found one gold, they went ahead. The owner of the house went ahead and told them that they should just, I mean, dig around it and then look for the gold or anything under. And I'm like, why? So I look at all these things and all these videos and things that are going on in the deprived areas, and I ask myself, if we as citizens of Ghana, if this is the extent we can go, then of course we can't blame anyone for coming to Ghana and using our lands for these things, because I mean, those people are watching what we are doing. As you said, the chiefs are part. What processes do these lands go through for them to have access to it, to even do this mining? And when it comes to the mining or the Galamsey, how are the checks like? Do we look at the fact that they are doing the right thing, or they are using the right machines, or they actually leave them to do whatever they want to do? So if we ourselves cannot take the stance and then check our lands, check the people we give our lands to, and look at how they are using the lands for these purposes, then I think we should be blamed, and not the Chinese people. And I think recently I saw some number of Chinese who were arrested because they came here to. If we do not give them the go-ahead, of course they can't do it. If our rules and regulations in acquiring land and doing the right thing are in place, and people are not a bit self-centered with the money and all that, then I think the right thing will be done, and not really blame the Chinese for what they're doing.
Talking about the number of Chinese arrested, I mean, comparing the arrest situations, when we look at the numbers, majority are the foreigners. You know, these people, they are business minded. I remember myself and Dr. Ajiman, when we were going to Zambia to participate in the CLARE program, we met a Chinese, between us on the seat, there was a Chinese man. He can't speak English, trust me, not even a word, But he was able to, they are business minded. So he had this solar energy thing that he's selling. And he's interested in a Ghanaian market exactly. So communication was very difficult, but he was able to use his phone, showing us pictures of some of the things he had done. Then he'll say Abuja. That means he's been in Nigeria, here, Uganda, you know, trying to let us buy our interest in this, so that when we come back, at least we can invite him and then get to the market. They are very business minded. So they'll be able to persuade you, to let you know that you are going to get benefit from this and that. So just give us access to it. And if you do, what they want is the money and the resources from them.
That's true.
And then again, last year there was an issue with a Chinese woman, Aisha Huang, who was arrested. they took her out from the country.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I don't know
How
how
it happened. But
all of a sudden she just
she
appeared
came
in the
back.
country again, doing the same thing that she
Yeah.
was arrested for initially.
So I think
And
this
now
still
he was-
boils down to our rules and
Exactly.
regulations,
So
our checks,
Ghanaians-
what we put in place for
exactly,
these things.
exactly.
Because I don't think you've been arrested for committing a crime such as this, if you do not buy your way to coming back, I don't think you will be able to come back.
And this can't be done in their country.
Exactly. So why Ghana? And the fact that after all these things, we still blame them for coming into our country to, use our lands for galamsey in the wrong manner. It's I don't know. It's just not going well with me, to be honest.
Well, we just hope that this government, just like the news made mention, the CEO reinforced the government's commitment to combat illegal and irresponsible mining. According to the CEO, he highlighted the dedication of President Mahama, the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, and the Inspector General of Police in addressing these pressing issues. So we have the commitment and the dedication of this current government. I mean, we do see,
but you see, previous government to
try,
yeah. But to the extent that we even went on demonstration in this country, people, I mean, it was that bad. I remember seeing pictures and then market women who go to these streams to, maybe get fishes or do anything. Go through their house chores with these water bodies, and then you see a woman crying out and then begging government to come to their aid, try and stop these people from using their land in that kind of way. I mean, previous government has promised that they were going to do it,
and
I just hope
they tried.
I really hope that this current government would, put in measures and then stop the galamsey issue.
Yeah. Previous government was doing quite well. I mean, they were going on sites, arresting people, burning the excavators and all that.
Yeah.
But people still went back. But this time, we've seen some changes with the strategies being used to stop galamsey. I think we heard of guards being on the water
people.
boats.
Yeah, that's true.
So let's just hope and finger crossed that this government is going to maybe not entirely take out illegal mining, but also minimize its effect.
There's a saying that I hear on Kojo Sheldon's podcast videos, and he says that the enemy of a black man is another black man.
Of course.
So we are our own problems.
Exactly.
I'm trying to stop it, but my fellow black man my fellow person doesn't, is looking at another side of, their own benefits and their selfish gains. So,
and we should stop politicizing everything. The previous government was doing something. We look at it. What were the gaps? What can we do to continue what the past government was doing? And this government is also doing something. The opposition party shouldn't criticize and say it's not going to work. We tried doing this, and you came back and saying it's not going to work. So yours is also not going to. This is Ghana. We all should come together and fight against galamsey. And if the blame to the Chinese men and women, then let's look at how we should go about in terms of business negotiations between these parties. We would love to hear your comments. Please share with us. Galamsey has been the topmost topic for more than 2 years now, and we would love to hear what your perspective is in terms of who to be blamed and what should be the right strategy to eliminate galamsey. And maybe you can take us to the third story.
Okay, so the story is about DR Congo extending cobalt export ban to September. So it says that DRC, that is the Democratic Republic of Congo, the world's largest supplier of cobalt, has officially extended its export ban on mineral by an additional 3 months. And this decision comes after its prices dropped to a 9-year low of 10% per pound, prompting the initial 4-month suspension in February 2025, according to a strategic mineral substances market regulation and control authorities. So in a statement by the ARECOMS, it says that extension is due to the persistently high level of cobalt stock on the global markets, which continues to suppress prices. So cobalt is a key component of the electric vehicles, batteries, and any prolonged disruption in supplies from these from the DR Congo or the DRC, that's DR Congo, could have significant complications for the global clean energy transition and EV manufacturing chain. This is very interesting. What do you think about the story?
So this is business dynamics, yeah. And I'm in support because let's say I saw this, right? And currently there are lots of industry that needs there's water to also produce another thing, but it is common in the market. Hence, I mean, people are not patronizing mine, or the prices has gone down. Obviously, I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep it until the demand rises, and then I'll come with my own time, my own prices. There, I'm going to benefit from, because what is the importance of a country exporting a natural resource that they are not really gaining enough money from it? Do you get what I'm saying? So to me, I think it is a very good business strategy, so that they can come back with a right price that is required. So they holding on, banning the export of cobalt for a period. It was for a period, and they still realize that it is still not effective. We need to extend it. I'm in support of it. It's just like we were talking about the Galamsey, the illegal mining. Just the right way is when somebody is mining in your environment, and you see that it is being destroyed, you just put a stop to it for a while, and then you maybe, if everything is restored, the environment or the area is restored, you can continue if possible, or move to another area. So it's the same as this. When your product is so common out in the market there, and people are not patronizing as required, the right price as required, you just keep it for a while till the demand increases,
then you bring it out. So the story also says that the ban extension reflects strategic state control over one of the world's most critical minerals, vital for EVs, smartphones, and of course the green energy technologies. The ongoing oversupply of cobalt, despite high demand projections, indicates a disconnect between short-term production levels and a long-term demand forecast. And then a prolonged export restriction from the DRC, which supplies over 70% of global cobalt, could disrupt supply chains of EV and tech manufacturers across Europe, Asia, and North America.
So my question is, currently electric vehicle is becoming very popular, and they need the cobalt to
make it function.
Exactly. As well as other electronics and electronic devices, they need the cobalt to produce the batteries and all that. So if that is the case, then why is it that the demand, I don't know, but I want to understand, if that is the case, then why is cobalt, the prices of cobalt, is it that the resources is so common? Because we know that DRC is the country that produces, like you made mention, 70% of these two industries that produces batteries. So why should the price keep decreasing if you are in need of this? If now that the demand is rising for cobalt, why that?
Well, as you said, maybe because of the demand. For me, that is the perspective I want to take it from, because since now the demand of cobalt is high, maybe that is the reason why the prices is coming down. And mind you, electric vehicles, I think there's, as you said, there is a high rise of electric vehicles. I think there's even a whole project that is going on where it's a foreign scholarship that takes African lecturers or scholars out to go and study electric vehicles, and then how it's manufactured, how it works, and then all that. But back to your question, I think the demand, because the demands are high, maybe that is what is causing the pricing.
Of course, we learned business during SHS and all that. So of course, when the demand is high, I mean, the supplies goes down, and that's the same vice versa. So we'll have to hear from our business guru. What are your thoughts? Why there is so much demand for cobalt, but still the prices for it is lower as compared to it being its previous price? And also, if you think the ban on exports from of the cobalt to or from DRC to industries is the right strategies for them to negotiate, according to the price they want, is the right strategy? Let us hear from you. So moving to the next story, we are looking at Nigeria receiving the largest return of a historic artifact from Netherlands. So currently they have received a significant milestone in the restitution of its cultural heritage with the largest ever repatriation of artifacts from the Netherlands. This shipment, which arrived from the Leiden and Rotterdam collections, include bronze statues of a bird, a warrior king, and a cockerel, as well as a wooden ancestral head, all originally taken from the Kingdom of Benin during British colonial raids in 1897. In a formal ceremony held in Benin City, Edo State, several items were symbolically handed over to the traditional ruler, underscoring their profound cultural and spiritual significance. Now, this repatriation is part of a broader global movement aimed at returning artifacts looted during the colonial era to their rightful homes. I am very happy to hear this, that one after the time we are receiving our heritage artifact, our historic artifacts, because we learn history from school, but if you look at our textbooks, we do not have proof. We do not have things to show that this belonged to us. Most of the pictures came from foreign museums and all that, because they took it from us during the colonial era. So it is ours. So bring back our yes. And
I think there was a similar story about that. I think with Otunfor. I think UK or one of the countries. Where they were trying to get some of their couched.
Actually, about 30 gold regalia came, and they are still waiting for more. But for the Ghana's issue, it's being given to us on a long-term loan. I don't know why they are
why a loan?
I don't know why they are loaning that to us, but it belongs to us, and it should be returned without the term loan. You are loaning it to us on what
something
what reason?
We something that is ours to us.
And same, we also heard of Ethiopia receiving the Magdala treasure. That was after 150 years of it being taken. And also Egypt received various ancient artifacts, including statues and mummies, and from Europe and United States, as well as other African countries. So I'm happy as long as we are taking back our historic artifact, things to prove to our generations that this is our culture. Looking at what was returned to Benin, the Benin bronze like this, the bird, for instance, it has a significance, it has meanings. The gold head, exactly, it also has meaning. So when your kids or when the generation or when the youth, they go to these museums to see it, this is what it's not some I don't know, it's not a fake or a second
hand information. There are things to prove what we have, or what we say we have. Let me put it that way.
So I'm very, very happy with this. And also kudos and congratulations to the government in terms of their discussions with the foreigners to return our historic artifacts.
That's true.
All right. So the fifth story is on FDA approving twice yearly injectable lenacapavir for HIV prevention. Now, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration has approved lenacapavir, an injectable HIV prevention drug administered just twice annually, marking a significant milestone in the global fight against HIV. Branded in the U.S. as Justuco, the drug offers sustained protection, providing an alternative to daily oral PrEP and reducing barriers such as adherence, stigma, and frequent clinic visits. The WHO has welcomed the approval and will release global guidelines for lenacapavir at the upcoming International AIDS Conference in Kigali, Rwanda next month. Right, so this is a game-changing time where a vaccine has been produced to be injected twice a year to help us prevent HIV. I'm happy with this significant progress when it comes to fighting against HIV/AIDS. You know, initially it's just the oral dosage, and that's I mean, patients take daily, and it is still for a lifetime until death comes to call you. But now, looking at this vaccines where we need to inject twice a year and then go back again.
So these injections are going to be given to those who have it already, or those who do not have it, and I mean, trying to prevent it.
So it is to everyone.
Everyone.
You take it, and then it prevents you from being contracted. At the same time, me taking it to prevent spreading it to
somebody else. So that's a good one.
And looking at its efficacy, you know, for every vaccine to be approved, it needs to go through some clinical trials, and this went on for 1 year, and the report shows that it has 99.9% protection against HIV/AIDS. I'm very happy with this progress and the research that has gone into the production of the vaccine, and I'm hoping that it's not going to be scarce in terms, you know, the quantity. It should be readily available to be rolled out to almost all the countries, so that everybody will get access to it. And then maybe in terms of sharing who goes first to take this vaccine. You know, most times during the COVID-19, they looked at people with who have high chances of susceptible to it, who have diabetes and other
that's true,
diseases. But this time we are looking at younger people as well as old people taking the vaccine. In terms of advocacy and licensing strategy, they have partnership with PEPFAR, Global Fund, and licensing to generics aim to ensure affordability and expand access in high incidence regions. Like I mentioned, of course, it should be accessible to
everybody,
almost everybody. So this partnership is going to ensure that it is accessible to all. And then the implementation demand, while promising the rollout will require systems for regular HIV testing, community education, as well as integration into existing care models. Of course, I mean, we have a prevention vaccine, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't be doing the regular testing. That doesn't mean the education, the awareness shouldn't be there.
The education,
as well as integrating it to existing care models. I mean, if the oral dosage is needed, and you are being required to do it. Don't say, since there's a vaccine, I'm not going for the oral dosage. No, I'm not going. No. You should listen to what your doctor is saying.
But I think I still want to buttress on the fact that, I mean, when these vaccines are rolled out, it should be made accessible to everybody, because I mean, when it comes, we know that there are people who will be given the chance to go for these vaccines before some people, but regardless, it should be made available to everybody to have access and then get these jabs into their system. Because I think periodically there's been a high HIV cases. I mean, yearly. I mean, I'm not really sure about the figures, but hearing the news and then what goes on when it comes to HIV, there's been a high rise of people getting infected and all that. So if there is a vaccine coming in that people would take in a way to prevent people coming into contact with HIV, then I think it's a better one.
And talking still on accessibility to our various countries, you know, there was quite concerns about drugs being held at the harbor for a period of time. Like, I mean, whilst people needed those drugs,
true.
We should work on our transportation system. If these things gets to your harbor, you should be ready to roll it into the various healthcare institutions. Right, do we have any comments on any of these stories? If not, I think we'll be breaking from the news review and go for a break. When we come back, we shall delve into lifestyle segments. Please stay tuned.
Explore a whole new world of exciting visuals with AAU TV. Get ready for a mix of interesting talk shows, interviews, discovery documentaries, and news on AAU TV. It's not just about watching TV, it's about experiencing something special. AAU TV reaches over 25 countries in Africa, bringing you a blend of knowledge and fun. Learn about different cultures as you enjoy the shows. If you have events or want to showcase your business, we've got you covered. Watch AAU TV free-to-air channel on satellite. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and X, formerly known as Twitter, at AAU TV. Reach out on call or WhatsApp us at +233 26 629 6601 or +233 20 399 5210. AAU TV, the voice of higher education in Africa.
Are you a university, college, high school, private organization, NGO, individual professor, instructor, or facilitator seeking to take advantage of the numerous benefits of online education? Look no further. The AAU eLearn Africa LMS is a great opportunity to begin your journey to online course development and creation for teaching, learning, and training purposes. AAU eLearn Africa LMS, which is a partnership between the Association of African Universities and eLearn Africa, has made available ease to use online learning tools to all stakeholders within the educational ecosystem of the African continent. This is to enhance teaching and learning in the bid to expand online learning opportunities for students in Africa. The online platform is open and available for free to all stakeholders and facilitates virtual access to classes without needing the other tools such as Zoom, Microsoft Teams, among others. For more information, visit www.elearnafricalms.com or contact us via aaulms@aau.org or estherm@elearnafrica.com. Follow us on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook at AAU eLearn Africa LMS.
I'm here with the Association of African Universities Television, AUTV. I just want to say that without the media, you won't know what's going on in the world. Even with the media, you sometimes don't know what's going on in the world. So you need to tune in to the reliable sources who are really on the front lines, who can give you the information you need and give you facts, not conjecture, give you real news, not fake news. And this is the place to find it, AUTV.
The voice of higher education in Africa.
Explore a whole new world of exciting visuals with AAU TV. Get ready for a mix of interesting talk shows, interviews, discovery documentaries, and news on AAU TV. It's not just about watching TV, it's about experiencing something special. AAU TV reaches over 25 countries in Africa, bringing you a blend of knowledge and fun. Learn about different cultures as you enjoy the shows. If you have events or want to showcase your business, we've got you covered. Watch AAU TV free-to-air channel on satellite. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and X, formerly known as Twitter, at AAU TV. Reach out on call or WhatsApp us at +233 26 629 6601 or +233 20 399 5210. AAU TV, the voice of higher education in Africa.
Hiya, this is Hello Africa. Keep watching AAU TV. Ciao.
Hello Africa. Keep watching AAU TV, the voice of higher education in Africa.
This program is proudly sponsored by Vena Mineral Water, Share the Love, and Bigo Drinks. This program is proudly sponsored by Vena Mineral Water, Share the Love, and Bigo Drinks.
Okay, so you're welcome to the lifestyle segment on the Hello Africa Morning Show. And as usual, my name is Jemima Daladem Duche. Today we want to talk about a very important issue that has been, coming up a lot of times in our society. So this morning, our lifestyle segment is we are taking a closer look at the digital campaign that is turning frustration into action. From Accra to Tamale, we realized that there are a lot of potholes on our roads, not just damaging cars, but also putting people's lives at risk. So there is a campaign going on currently that is the Fix the Pothole campaign, and is a nationwide social change initiative urging Ghanaians to use their phones and their platform to demand better roads. So whether you are on X, formerly Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and all the other social media platforms, this campaign is mobilizing citizens to snap photos of potholes, post them with their location, and tag the campaign using the hashtag potholesalertgh and fix the pothole. So today I have with me amazing guests. So I have with me Miss Naomi Owusu, who is the movement leader, and of course, Mr. Mike Hammer, who is the campaign manager. You're both welcome.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so I'm looking at the campaign Fix the Pothole campaign, and I'm asking myself, what inspired that? What brought about? What made you want to go into such tangent and not fixing anything but then potholes?
Oh, okay. So good morning to our cherished listeners. So first and foremost, we all use the roads, okay?
Yes.
And potholes contribute to most of the major and minor accidents. In fact, almost all the road carnages that we have are caused by the potholes, okay? It doesn't only cause accidents, but it also drains our pockets financially. Using bad roads damages our vehicles, and we need to repair them by buying spare parts and all that. We also considered our market women. Yes, they travel to bring us farm produce. And sometimes they are stuck in the middle of the road because of bad roads. So the perishable ones, they get spoiled, and sometimes it doesn't, when it gets here, we get little out of it, and sometimes they would have to pay for the transport, so it will be costly. So we realized that economically it affects us, and it's also threatening, life-threatening. So we decided that no, we will not sit down and leave it in the hands of the government or the various authorities. So we said no, let's take it upon ourselves, and demand actions from them.
Okay. But then why, digital platforms and not the traditional media? Because as you mentioned, there are mothers who are not on Facebook, and they are the people who sometimes even travel more.
Yes.
You understand? So why the digital media and then not the traditional media that we have, Mike?
Okay, so first of all, we are not just only focusing on social media, traditional media, we are there, but then we want to focus more on social media, because we realize that with social media can reach a lot of target audience. Yes, and then through social media you can have a lot of feedbacks, like direct feedbacks, where people can go under your comment and then say what they feel, and then share what's happening in their community. So we decided to also focus more on social media to be able to reach a lot of wider target audience.
Okay, so truth being told, currently you are on X, which is formerly Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and then Instagram. Exactly. How has the journey been so far? How are people responding to such an initiative?
In fact, I must say that the response has been very positive, because they are taking pictures as far as the North Ashanti region, and they are sending. In fact, if they were frustrated, so it's like something that was in their mind, and we have started the initiative, and everyone is willing to help us they are sending pictures and videos with their locations and all that.
Yeah.
So they are contributing. It has been positive, I must say.
Okay. So how is this helping the initiative? Because, I mean, there has been a lot of initiatives in Ghana where sometimes you do not really get the crowd that you want. So getting people to, I mean, support this initiative, what does that mean to the project?
So our aim is to be able to draw the attention of the local authorities and then the road authorities to fix our potholes. There are a lot of potholes on our road networks. So we feel that if we are able to get a lot of members on board or people on board to spread the message, we will be able to have our potholes fixed.
Okay.
And the message being carried across.
Okay. So now let's talk about, I mean, I want you to break down how the Potholes Alert GH Challenge is working. So what is the steps on how someone needs to, I mean, participate in this initiative or this challenge that is being implemented by you?
Okay. First and foremost, you need to spot a pothole. Then you take a video or a picture with the locations. Okay. So then you will share it to the various platforms, whether it's TikTok, whether it's X, whether it's Facebook. Then you will tag us. Okay. So when you tag us, we will also share it and take the comments and all that. We will compile them and send it to the various authorities.
Okay. So when I mean, what is the streamlined process in fixing these potholes? Because as you said, there are a lot of messages or posts that come in, and some from as far as the northern region, the Ashanti region. So how are you able to, I mean, you are in Accra, I'm sure.
Yes.
So how are you able to, I mean, get into contact with authorities who are in the other regions in order for them to fix the pothole issue?
For now, we've not gotten in touch with the authorities. Okay. We are speaking to family members. We have friends who live far from Accra. So they take the pictures, give us the videos. Okay. The campaign is in the infant stage. Okay. So for now, we've not spoken with any authority. We are now trying to get the pictures, the videos, so that we can take action. We can send them to the authorities involved so that we demand actions from them. So for now, we've not spoken with any of the authorities.
Okay.
We have plans to speak to the authorities that we want to gather enough data. Then we can now present to the authorities with our data and then our findings. Then we now push them to help our roads to be fixed.
Okay. So, I mean, I'm sure a lot of, as we are saying, a lot of posts come to you. Now, let's talk about some of maybe the powerful or surprising submissions you've received across your socials so far. Okay,
fine. So, we received one from Volta region. There's this town called
Soko-de Akrofi Road.
Akrofi Road.
Yes.
I mean, you need to see the road. Very terrible. Yes. Completely damaged, and yet nothing is being done about it. So I asked myself, how are people able to ply this road? Because with the road, I mean, we have a picture there, so if they can project it. With the road, you see that half of, you can see on your screen, you see that half of the road is gone. So what happens when you are driving in the night, or to drivers who are not used to this road, what happens to them? So we've found it very terrible, and then thought that something needs to be done about this particular road. Okay.
I think weeks ago, I don't know if you've seen this video online that Kojo Sheldon did a video of the Pantine Adenta Road, counting the potholes, I think from where his studio is to the junction or something like that. And you could see that there were a lot of potholes that, I mean, we are counting. I mean, broadly, people see the road safety as a government issue only. So why then do you think, especially young people, care about, this and then engage with issues of this nature? Because obviously people feel like the government should fix the road. The government should do this. Government obviously knows that there are rural areas without good roads. So why do you think the initiative has to come to the young ones and not just leave it at the government level?
Okay, for us, we believe that road safety is a shared responsibility. Okay, if there is a pothole in my neighborhood and I cannot go and fix them myself, okay, I will need the government, I will need the local authorities to fix them. Sometimes it is likely they haven't seen it. Meanwhile, it endangers our lives. Okay, our lives are at risk. So we cannot leave it in the hands of the government alone. We thought it wise that, oh, why don't we help the government? Yes, help the government. Yes, we should just get the pictures, send them to the various authorities. Yes, in case they haven't seen it, so that if they don't repair it, that one we will have every cause to say that we brought them to you, knew it, and you didn't fix them.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Now, I mean, when it comes to local levels and then initiatives of fixing, there was this campaign of Fix the Country and then all that, where we had influencers and then creatives, I mean, adding their voices to this. So in what ways do you think these influencers or creatives can also support, amplify this message?
Okay, so we are looking forward to collaborate with influencers.
Okay.
We have listed some influencers which we want to partner with, and then we have gotten in touch with some of them which we've received positive feedback. So very soon we'll be riding on the pages or the influences of those people and then try to reach as much as possible audience.
Okay. Okay. But currently there are no influencers who have hopped on officially yet.
No, we have seen few of them really taking part of the challenge, which even surprised me because we didn't even contact them, and then they took that, and then we were surprised that this was amassing a lot of views and then reactions.
Okay.
So to add a little to what he said, we want the influencers to use their platform to share, encourage others to also share and take videos and pictures of the various potholes within their location. Wherever they are.
Okay.
They should.
Okay. So what's the long-term goal? I mean, the end goal of this initiative, I mean, the long-term platform, or what you really want, the agenda, you really want to push really?
Oh, so the long-term goal is to get the potholes fixed. Yes.
Okay.
To get the potholes fixed. For us, so far as we exist as a social movement and there are potholes, we will continue to make the noise. We wouldn't stop after a period. We will continue to make the noise because we know how life-threatening it can be and all that.
Okay. Okay. So currently we'll go for a break to watch a video on the Fix the Pothole initiative or project. We'll be back. This is a good initiative which says fix our potholes. That's a good one. So I have some messages here I would like to read. And currently, so this is coming from Baron from Oyarifa, and he says, currently our roads are on the high level of 1 kilometer, 10 pothole. that's interesting. And then he says that this is a good campaign. And this is coming from Latifa from Tema, and she says, do you honestly believe the authorities will do anything this time? We've been campaigning about these bad roads for years, and it feels like the government doesn't care about our safety, especially when they drive big V8s that don't get damaged by potholes like the rest of our cars. I mean, people have been making claims about the fact that, I mean, government cars, because of how big and huge their tires are, they do not really feel, their potholes. Do you think that is the reason they do not really, they are not sentimental about our plight when it comes to potholes?
That could be part, yeah, but then I feel the government is also trying its best, but we want the government to do more, yeah, because there are a lot of potholes, and once they continue to be potholes, we also continue to advocate for this to end.
Fixing the pothole.
Exactly.
Okay, so we are coming to the end of the conversation. So finally, what's your direct call of action for our viewers this morning? What would you like to say to our viewers this morning?
So we want to tell them that they should follow our social media handles. Okay, they should take pictures, they should take videos and leave them at the comment sections. Then they should also encourage others to follow their pages.
Okay, so you can put your pages across.
Oh, okay. So we are on Facebook, Fix the Pothole. Okay. We are also on TikTok. The same Fix the yes. We are also on X. It's the same Fix the Potholes.
And so Facebook.
Yes, Fix the yes.
Okay. So thank you very much for coming. It's been an interesting conversation, and I'm glad that there is an initiative like this to, I mean, solve such an issue that we all have, we all are not happy with. All right. So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So this has been the lifestyle segment of the Hello Africa Morning Show. My name is Jemima Deladem Doche. Let me know what you think in the comment section about this initiative. I mean, we've had a lot of initiatives in Ghana, a lot of fixing to do in the country. So let me know what your thoughts are, especially on our roads, and how you think the government can help us solve this initiative. We'll come to you next time, same time. Bye.
This program is proudly sponsored by Venom Mineral Water, Share the Love, and Bigo Drinks.